Welcome back. Junkies on 106.7 The Fan. Keyword for Cash is back. Your next chance to win $1,000 in the Keyword for Cash. Comes up at 9:05. About an hour away. Just listen for the keyword, then dial **win if you're the randomly selected nationwide entrant. And you know the keyword, you can win $1,000. Talking about the Adrian Peterson situation.
You know, at some point, I like to talk about this Catherine Hoggle situation too. The schizophrenic woman that Montgomery County Police, they basically said publicly they're resigned to the fact that she killed the kids,
right?
But she won't say
tell
where
anybody
they are.
where they are. Right?
I mean, they're basically telling people that live in, I think, Clarksburg and Darnestown to look on their properties for the kids' bodies.
Yeah, I mean,
it's gotten to that point.
It's just brutal.
It's horrible.
And
did you see the prosecutor crying yesterday? I think it was a prosecutor.
and I saw the guy.
Might have
It was
been
the guy.
Yeah, it was
One of the investigators or something.
one of the investigators.
Yeah, I saw that.
Him
Yeah,
crying?
he couldn't keep it together. I don't know how these guys deal with it. They're heroes. These investigators that deal with these domestic issues all the time.
And she's just crazy.
She's
She's
crazy.
and killed
I
her
understand we have that protection now for. I mean, she's schizophrenia is real. That's about as hardcore as it gets.
Yep.
This is personally, I don't have a problem with making her disappear. Do you know what I'm saying?
You mean death penalty?
Yes, I don't have a problem. If you kill your own kids, this is me, Eric Bickle, saying I don't have a problem.
Even
with
if she's got a mental problem.
Look, you killed your own kids.
Why did she? Let me ask you. Why did she have custody of the kids?
I
if
have
she
no
had
idea.
schizophrenia?
How could you be?
Was she diagnosed with that way before that?
I don't know.
Maybe she had it under
Can you
control of
imagine the
medication.
dad? Can you imagine the dad? I cannot imagine what's going
I
through that
saw the
poor
interview
guy's-
with him yesterday.
Yeah, I can't imagine what's going through that guy's head.
But we're talking about the Adrian Peterson situation, and I threw out the question, what changed for the Vikings to reinstate him where he's practicing and going to play with the team this week when actually more allegations have come out about previous child abuse on another 4-year-old son. He has several children, so there are allegations about 2 of the kids, both, and this is something that Pete Medhurst pointed out, both who have bled.
Yeah.
It's one thing to hit a kid. He's causing them to bleed. Like, that's a severe
And be ready.
whooping,
I would
as
say
he said.
brace yourself for this because
Whooping.
if he does this with
Whooping.
one kid or another, this is probably what he thinks is disciplining. He probably does it for all kids.
story's
if he's
gonna
got-
keep
if he's
coming
got, if
out.
he's got 6 left. You're going to hear more.
And I pointed
Yeah.
out.
Brace yourself for
And
it.
I just point this out before we go to the calls. A lot of people want to chime in on the Hadid Carpet Clean List line. The Vikings a couple years ago had to deal with a player named Chris Cook. Chris Cook was charged with 1 count of domestic assault by strangulation and another count of 3rd-degree assault after he got in a fight with his then-girlfriend of 10 months. He was suspended with pay by the team for a game. Like, when the allegations came out that week, he didn't play. And then they decided to shut him down the rest of the year. In that case, the allegations were that the girlfriend became angry because he spent too much time with a lap dance at a strip club, and then he started getting some text messages. They got in a fight. It turned physical. She ends up having I don't know if it was a broken nose, a bloody nose, some bruises and things like that. He claimed self-defense. Ultimately, he was acquitted. But during all of that, they shut him down. Now, I agree with all you. The cynical thing is, well, he wasn't Adrian Peterson.
He was a
Peterson's
first-round draft
well,
pick,
you
though.
know that's
great
why.
player.
You know that's why.
All right, so
Was he a 7-time Pro Bowler?
no. No, but as Cakes pointed out, he was a first-round pick.
Pretty sure he's a first-rounder.
Doesn't matter.
He might have been.
Doesn't matter.
He wasn't as good as AP.
He wasn't
Yeah.
the face of the franchise.
But he said it was
He
self-defense.
won former MVP.
And apparently the jury at least somewhat agreed with him that it was self-defense. And she had different tales. Like, apparently she later told the police that she lied to them because she was angry at her boyfriend.
Who cares? The point is, in a previous case, very similar. Doesn't matter the details of that
He
one.
just fumbled him.
Well, no, I mean, who cares the details of that one? The bottom line is they suspended that guy with pay and let it sort of play out. With AP, they thought about it for a weekend and they reinstated him. That's the beef.
And
Right,
Greg
that's
Hardy's
the
getting
beef.
the same situation, by the way, in Carolina.
Well, they're going week to week.
Right.
They're going week to week there, too.
They're basically
You know what
they're
There's-
licking their
that's
finger and
exactly
put it up
what
in
they're
a wind
doing.
to see which way it's blowing, and
Right.
then they're going to determine whether they're going to start him or not.
Here's the reality of the situation, and I didn't hear Barkley's comments. I only heard JP paraphrase them to me. But here's the reality of the situation. If I'm going to guess 25% of, I have no idea. 20% of the league probably come from a similar circumstance that Adrian Peterson does, right? Maybe from the South, from a lower income situation. Let's just be honest and be real about it. You could probably suspend 10% of the league right now for disciplining their kids the same way.
Can we play the Barkley clip?
They have a real problem at the NFL. a real problem when you start going down this road. And it's probably the right road to go down. This is a real
Well,
problem.
let's
I
be
mean,
honest.
but what do you do?
He's
You
not,
gotta institute
he's not
another-
only disciplining his kids, he's beating his kids.
beating them.
He's beating them to the
I agree
point where
with
they
you.
have welts on their body.
In his mind,
they're
though,
bleeding.
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt in this sense that he thinks he's disciplining them. It's the wrong way
But
to
he's
go.
wrong.
It's ignorant.
No matter
Right.
what he thinks, doesn't matter.
But
I'm
he
just
thinks,
saying in
but
his
he
mind.
thinks it's right.
I
In his
know,
mind.
but it doesn't matter.
Well,
what
he needs to be.
thinks.
He needs to
At
be
some
educated.
Point, at
Okay.
some point, it does matter a little bit. It matters a little bit. He's ultimately wrong, in
You and
my opinion.
you and I think it's wrong because of the way we were brought up. But he thinks it's right because that's the way he was brought up.
I know, but my point is,
I actually think
So you
spanking's
can't-
wrong.
for example,
Personally.
if you think, I heard this example brought up by Jeffrey Toobin last night on CNN. If you think, and there are religious people, if you think that your kid shouldn't receive medical attention because of some sort of religious point of view, but that medical attention could save your child,
Mhm.
no matter what you think, that's wrong. And the state will prosecute.
Oh, I understand. He's getting prosecuted.
Right.
I agree with you. What he did was wrong. I'm just telling you, if you
And
want to
as-
try and get into his
As
mind,
Cake said during the
he would have
break,
told you he was right.
this is what I think. And I mean, Boomer Esiason went on the pregame show on CBS and said he should never be in the league again. And there are others that agree. I mean, if you watch Chris Carter, I mean, people emotional about this.
Yeah, I'm not sure about
As
that.
Cake said during the break, if the Vikings had any balls, he wouldn't be a Minnesota
He
Viking
would never
anymore.
play for them again. But
Yeah.
they're not going to do
Well,
that
if he
because
was-
he fills up the stadium. Okay, he's the face of the franchise, and they want to win football games. The Minnesota Vikings are not in the business of taking public stances on controversial issues. They're in the business of making money
Right.
and winning football games.
Right.
Hence, he's going to play on Sunday. Doesn't mean
Unless,
it's right.
no,
but it just-
unless
it
there
hurts their bottom line.
Yeah, public's opinion
Well,
can change.
well,
We've seen it
I
happen
mean,
in Carolina.
Radisson's already withdrawing their sponsorship. They said,
Yeah.
we're no longer
Right.
giving you any money. And
Right.
if those keep mounting,
Yeah, I mean, by
Then you could
let's
see
say
something
Tuesday,
else happen.
By Thursday, he's probably not going to play because the public opinion is going to shift. They have no moral compass. That's obvious. All they care about is winning and trying to stay under the radar.
Yes.
And by Thursday, I'm guessing public support will be so bad that he'll be
If
suspended
there's more,
with pay.
if there's more of an
Yeah,
outcry,
I mean,
especially
they
from that community.
pull more sponsors. It's going to be national. It's going to be outside the lines by today.
This is a very
I mean, you
minor
know.
thing. Does this bother you? It bothers me, and I'll admit it's a very trivial, minor thing. But his mugshot,
He's smiling.
big old smile on his face.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why.
a little bit. I mean, it's basically him saying, it's him saying, I think it's him saying, I haven't really done anything wrong. I'm going to smile for the mugshot. To me, that's what it says. Because usually you take a mugshot, you're sullen, you look distraught, you're not flashing the pearly whites. He had no problem doing it.
Maybe the cops said, "Hey, smile for me." I'm a Vikings fan.
Maybe. I don't know.
All right. A lot of people want to chime in on this. We could obviously talk about it for hours. All right. Let's go to.
I know this is the worst time for the NFL. This 2-year stretch is the worst time of the NFL that I can remember.
Yeah. Now I'm getting leaning towards your Goodell. Let's just leave. If I was
Just get
Goodell,
out.
just take your $100 million and just go.
There's
on a
no way
boat.
he enjoys coming to work.
I can't.
I mean, he enjoys every 2 weeks and the automatic deposit.
Yeah, he
he's
does.
He's a firefighter, is what he is.
Yes.
He's putting out fires every
There's
day.
just no way he enjoys going to those offices in New York on Park Avenue every single
Yeah.
day.
Let's
you
go
can't
to-
convince me of that.
Let's go to John in D.C. John, what's up?
What's going on, man? Let's start with this right here. I'm not condoning what Adrian Peterson did. It came from the South. We all seen slavery movies where it came with whips. Now, that transferred into our great-grandparents beating our parents with not branches. It's a whip. It's a thin piece of branch off of a tree. It may have leaves on it, may not. And you have to go out and pick your own. But at the same time, the whips come. You're going to get, if you get hit with a belt, you're going to have whelps on you. Now, the little boy probably was hurting and moving around. That's why he got hit in the junk. But at the same time, we can't condone Adrian Peterson blowing up. But you saying 20% of the league, I'll give you more than that if they're from the South.
Yeah.
Because I was born and raised in D.C., and my mother was raised down South, and I got beat with a whip and a belt. You know, that's the way. But nowadays, it's a different day nowadays, you know, and you can't treat them the same. But at the same time, all this crime going on here with these kids, if they got beatings at the time they did, it probably wouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying? Discipline is a different way. You can't put them in timeout now because you see 20-year-olds, 17-year-olds killing people. That's ridiculous. You got to have some type of discipline.
Timeouts,
Yeah, but
without-
you don't
without
need that. But you don't need that kind of
timeouts don't
discipline.
work. I would agree.
No, but there are other things that you can do. It doesn't have to
Right,
be.
that is true. That is true.
Doesn't have to be a timeout. Thank you for the call, though. I mean, personally, I find many other things. You take things away. There's different reward systems that you could do. But, obviously you don't beat a kid till he's bleeding. And I mean, I don't even believe in spanking.
I don't believe in spanking either.
My mom spanked me and washed my mouth out with soap. I think they're both trifling. I can't believe she did it.
Yeah.
But she did. And she loved me.
Yeah, I never got the soap
My mom's
in the
not an
mouth.
abuser, but my mom grew up in the country.
It's a different era, too.
And that's what they did.
But, Eric, my parents definitely didn't beat me, but I definitely got spankings from my dad. I didn't care about anything they were going to do to me except for my dad whooping my butt. That's the only thing that fazed me at all.
Well, kids today are different. Let me tell you something. You take away their phone, you take away their Minecraft, you take away their Xbox, it has an impact. You take away their
friends.
You take away their friends. Just say, go sit in your room all day, stupid. Do that for a week. That has an impact. You don't have to hit them. You just don't.
I'm not saying you do, but
well, I mean, it has the same. I mean,
another thing is, Eric, you got to remember, a lot of these fathers. I mean, these kids are from split families, split parents.
Yeah,
so the father isn't around all the time to discipline. So when they see him every other week or every other weekend, and they do something bad, that's how they're going to react to him. You know what I mean? So when they go back home to mom, they can control mom. They can do whatever they want. They can be a little knucklehead.
Mm-hmm.
But then when the dad gets around
can
him,
you
says,
imagine
you
the
can't
chaos?
act like this
of
in my
course.
house.
Steve, it's so much more difficult to discipline a kid when you have two sets of rules.
So my point is, if there's not a split family and both parents are there, maybe the kid's raised in a different way and he won't act like that.
Yeah. All right, let's bang out the calls. We're trying to get to you guys as much as we can. Let's go to Denny in Fredericksburg. Man, the NFL is just taking one right now.
Oh, yeah. PR
Denny,
nightmare.
I mean, you got a huge game, Seattle and Denver this week, and everyone's talking about Peterson.
Yeah.
Hey,
Denny,
game in 2 days. Bucks Falcons
That's
on
right.
Thursday
last
night.
week it was Rice. Hey, what's up?
Denny?
Yeah, hey, fellas, how you doing?
What's up?
Hey, I don't know if you're aware of this, but there are 19 states that still allow schools to paddle kids,
Mm-hmm.
and Texas being one of them. In fact, the last numbers I saw, over 34,000 kids had received paddles.
Yeah, that's why I think it is tough. Because I think there is certainly a percentage of this population, I could put my finger on what it is, that believes in this. Like whether it's the South,
Paddling's a little different.
Paddling is different, but like the Catholic Church, don't they paddle? Maybe they don't anymore. But certainly, didn't Catholic school kids years ago, they would get paddled by nuns.
How's that still legal in 19 states, by the way? That is shocking. I had no idea that was still legal.
Hog smokes are illegal some places, though. So, I mean, the rules are crazy.
We need, somebody get the books. We need to really
But
rethink
again,
that one.
Just
in
a little
this
levity,
situation,
a little levity.
But,
in this
but
situation,
paddling's different than whipping a kid until he bleeds.
in this situation, you're
I
drawing
bet you
blood.
could bleed with the paddle. You can bleed. You're hitting a guy with wood.
Well, on the butt, you got to hit him really hard.
I could hit you. I could make you bleed with a ping pong paddle. I don't even know what a paddle looks like. I mean, I don't even
Probably
know.
it's about the size of a ping pong paddle. Probably.
Probably a little bit bigger.
Okay, Valdez,
Definitely
come over
hurts.
here and let me paddle you till you bleed.
I'll do it.
All right,
No,
we
it's a
come
bad-
back.
it's
We'll
bad
take your
taste.
calls at 800-636-1067. Get more on the Adrian Peterson situation. But before that, I have to tell you about DraftKings.com. Fantasy football is back, and DraftKings.com is not messing around. DraftKings.com is America's favorite one-week fantasy football site where you can win big cash prizes every week.